Hello and welcome to my apartment tour, one that I was very hesitant to make, which is why it took so long for this video to come out. No matter how much I try to clean it and tidy it, my apartment won't turn into a villa, and it is quite embarrassing to show my tiny, grimy apartment to the internet. But then I remembered that nobody really sees my videos apart from my very supportive friends and my future self anyways, so there was no need to be shy. I'll keep cleaning while you bring all of this up. Bring the box into the kitchen. I was desperate to find an apartment in November and landed on this one only after 2 weeks of searching. Though it wasn't especially difficult since I didn't have a lot of choices. I had determined that it only needed to be big enough for two, reachable by public transport and as cheap as possible. So we settled for this old 24-meter square apartment in the very heart of Toulouse city center. I don't think I could have found anything better within our budget, even if I had another 6 months apartment hunting. Though there are many things to be desired, this is the best we can afford. No matter how small our living space might be, it was important that each of us gets our own desk. As the both of us were confined to this small place we call home during lockdowns, it was crucial that we could retreat into our own bubble, our own separate little universe, away from the whole world and void of each other. We can then pursue our passions and occupations side by side without interrupting each other, like two silent and courteous colleagues sharing an office. Since we both enjoy solitude but abhor loneliness, our desks have enabled us to coexist and thrive in each other's presence. They are also among the first things people notice when they come into our home since they take up so much space. Another important thing when living in a small apartment is affordable bed. It is so tempting to stay in bed all day since, as I had said in my first Outfits of the Week video, the space that was meant for eating, playing and resting now has to accommodate studying and working. So we agreed to just make the bed and fold it up in the morning. Once folded, the newly available space would enable me to do yoga 5 times a week and let us have friends over without having everyone on our bed. Close the door. And finally, I don't think we could live here if we hadn't purged our belongings beforehand. Everything not needed will be left behind. Anything we don't love will be donated. All that is left has to be the cream of the crop, the most precious and useful things we own, things which we cannot live without. I think we did a decent job fitting both of our lives into this 24-meter square, but we are far from being minimalists. It's more like an organized clutter kind of aesthetic, and it's okay since we can always try to optimize the space over time, and our living space will always be a work in progress. Welcome to my home. This is the door from which we came in. This is my jacket, and these are the 2 shirts that Nathan is still wearing. There's a sticker that says sandwiches on the door to remind Nathan to take his lunch boxes every day. Down here is where we put our shoes. This is a special compartment for all the things that we're still wearing. It's not clean, but it's not dirty enough for us to put to wash. Here are boxers, here are socks, and here are pants of Nathan. Here are where we put keys and masks and things we need when we go out. Up here are shirts, and up here still are bedsheets and covers. On to this side. This is where we keep all of our winter jackets and scarf. This is our clothes hanger. Down here is our vacuum, and behind is a bucket and a mop. And just behind is a door that leads to our bathroom. This is a hamper that always seems to be full. And this is me. Right here is our dining table. Nathan likes to sit on a pillow, and I don't. Behind this table is this door where I hang fruits, condiments, spices, tea, and on top are ingredients that I don't use very often. You can find more masks here and Nathan's lunch bag. Going through this door, you'll find our tiny kitchen. This is our induction stovetop that we've had for 5 years. This is our sink with dishes that I haven't washed. This is where I would have put them if I had washed them. Down here are where we put our pots and pans. And this is the inside of our fridge. Onto this side is where we put our bowls, cups, and dishes. Down here in this bright pink container is our dry pantry. Above the towels is the microwave, and above the microwave is our raclette machine. Next to the microwave, on the other side of the wall, is our oven, which sits on top of our boiler. On top of this counter we have our rice cooker, salt, pepper, mocha boiler. In here we have our knives and forks. Down here is where we keep our veggies for the week. And in here are mostly empty jars and Tupperwares. This is where we keep our recycling. This is the trash. Up here is the window where I try to keep them alive. Back to where we came from. This is the door. And right here is my desk where I film all of my videos. I try to keep everything as organized as possible, but there isn't a lot that I can do given the little space that I have. Beside my desk is our bookshelves. There's no rhyme or reason to anything here. I just try to cram everything we have onto these 8 squares. Our bookshelves sit on top of my clothing drawer, where I have miraculously crammed all of my clothes into. Next to my wardrobe is my tripod, bedside table, and our bed, which Nathan has hastily folded this morning. And onto this side is Nathan's desk. It's an organized clutter that I try not to touch. Nathan sits next to our fake balcony where all of my plants are slowly dying. And that was a tour of our tiny 20-meter square apartment. Thank you for having spent time with me. If you enjoyed this video at all, please feel free to check out the links I've left in the descriptions and come say hi!